Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back with United Daily Live. Welcome to the show, whether you are watching live or you're tuning in after we have been live. Thank you for joining us. Today, we have got loads to get stuck into after what has been an absolutely crazy, wild summer for Manchester United. Paul Pogba getting coronavirus, Harry Maguire being involved out in Greece. I've forgotten loads of stuff that's been going on, but another chapter of that madness today involving Mason Greenwood, who has been sent home from international duty with his international teammate Phil Foden. Now, obviously, it's grabbing headlines, it's grabbing all that kind of thing, and the lads have been stupid. They've made a mistake, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. They'll learn from it. They won't do it again. And, you know, they're 18 and 20 years old. Ryan Giggs used to get up to these sort of things. We used to hear stories about all sorts of different players. As long as they knuckle down, realise the mistake they have made, they will be absolutely fine. So I'm not going to get stuck into Mason Greenwood today on here. As a young lad, he's made a mistake. Hopefully he learns from it and gets his head down and focuses on his football for next season. And it means he comes back to Manchester United earlier. He'll get in a little bollocking from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm sure. But I don't think Ole will be worried by it. And I can't see him being punished by being dropped from the team or anything like that. Although maybe England will drop him, who knows. But nevertheless, we're not here to talk about that much today. We are here to talk about Reguilon. Sergio Reguilon's been linked with Manchester United, and I believe Manchester United lead the race. So we'll be getting stuck into the Spanish reports in relation to Sergio Reguilon. Also, Benfica and Valencia are keen on Andreas Pereira. We hear Martial's set to start for France tomorrow night as well. Fingers crossed he gets through that game with a goal and an assist and no injury, which would be great for us, wouldn't it? To build his confidence up ahead of that Premier League start. The Premier League restarts this weekend coming up, and then the following weekend United and City will be competing in the Premier League for the first time, because obviously United and City are those teams that went further into the European competition. So we're very close to the restart of the Premier League now, so we want to be keeping all of our players fit and ready for that campaign. And obviously Martial starting in that game is good for us because he gets some pre-season minutes almost under his belt, doesn't he? But we want to see him come out of that one unscathed. So we've got all that stuff to get stuck into. Talk about Chris Smalling and Marcus Rojo, who've been back at Carrington as well, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the team that aren't on international break. And there's talk about them potentially staying and all this, that and the other, but it just seems like absolute rubbish. We know they're going to be off. It's just a matter of time and us finding the deals for those players to be off. And we'll look out for any further news on Roma and their move for Chris Smalling. But before we get stuck into any of that, it is of course the 7th of September today as we record this live, and on the 7th of September in 1895, we are going back a long way, 125 years. John Aitken becomes the first recorded Newton Heath player to make a scoring debut in the second division. He is on target as the Heathens crush Crewe Alexandra 5-0 at Bank Street. Bank Street was the second home used by Manchester United. Well, Newton Heath back then, but it was our second home. Joe Cassidy grabbed 2. William Kennedy and Richard Smith made up the 5 for a team run by club secretary A.H. Albert. So on this day in 1895, John Aitken became the first recorded Newton Heath player to make a scoring debut in the second division. There's a little bit of history for you, all the way back 120 years ago. So if you get that right in a pub quiz, you know who to thank for that one. So let's get stuck into the latest rumours on Sergio Reguilon, because we know that's what we're here for. That's what the title of the video is, and we're hearing that Manchester United are leading the race for this player. So let's have a look where this has come from. Now, the initial report came from people that are close to Sevilla now, and they said Sergio Reguilon will not be Sevilla's left back next season. They were willing to pay 20 million euros, but United are willing to pay 30 million euros and give the player 5 million euros per season. So this morning we heard that coming from Spain and those close to Sevilla, that he will not be Sevilla's left back next season. We heard it was possible that he could head out there on loan again, but it looks like Real Madrid are confident of getting a permanent deal for his services. It's Real Madrid that have been shopping him around, trying to get him a deal. They've told his agent, you can go and speak to clubs. And as a result, his agent is now shopping him about there, trying to get a deal. Sevilla are obviously going to be interested because he spent last season there and did well there. But we're also hearing that they're speaking with Premier League clubs too. Arsenal have been linked with a move for him as well. And these are a few other reports that come out from various places in Spain. So we heard there is much talk about the strong interest of MUFC for Sergio Reguilon. Real Madrid hope to receive a succulent offer from the Premier League. Zinedine Zidane does not have him in his plans and prefers Marcelo and Ferland Mendy. So that's one of them that came via United Report, who do great work in compiling all the different reports that are coming out there via all these different journalists. And some of the other quotes that I have will come from Man United Zone, and I've also got a story from Sport Witness just to give everyone their credits. But Sergio Reguilon, here's another report from Marca, will work at Valdebebas, which is Real Madrid's training ground, until a decision is made on his future. Real Madrid's option right now are to make a profit from a sale. The only other alternative is to loan him back to Sevilla. Then we heard Alvaro Montero from Sky say Man United, Arsenal and Sevilla are the options for Reguilon. Real Madrid want to sell him, but with a buyback option, and the player likes the idea of playing in the Premier League. And then more reports came later on in the day, again from those close to Sevilla, saying Manchester United are leading the race to sign the player. There are other English bidders, and his future will be decided in the next few days. So everything that we're hearing in relation to Sergio Reguilon is pretty much in line with what we've heard over the last couple of days, and that Manchester United are leading the race for him. We're happy to make a deal with Real Madrid, but we're just waiting for a decision to be made. We heard yesterday that it was possibly United who were to make that decision, but now we're kind of hearing that it's potentially Real Madrid to make the decision. But it looks like we're going to get a decision on this player's future in this coming few days. So hopefully we'll know whether he's going to be a Manchester United player or not, so we can move on from it. Again, I consider a left-back signing to be a little bit of a bonus. I'm expecting United to get Jadon Sancho. If we don't, I'll be pretty gutted. We've got Donny van der Beek in the midfield, and I think we'll sign a defender. Like, a left-back is a position that I didn't expect us to strengthen this window. I think we could do with strengthening it, but it wasn't a priority. So if we can get Sergio Reguilon, I think it would be a great bonus and a great bit of business in terms of his price. So then this is the story we've got from Sport Witness, which was a little bit earlier on in today, so they might not include some of the latest reports. But it said Man United are ready to materialise the interest in the left back with a £25 million bid. Agent has been offering the club to other Premier League players. On Monday morning, it was claimed Man United had intensified contacts to sign Alex Telles, the Brazilian from Porto. But now there's different bits of news. So this is the story in Sport Witness, with it claimed the Red Devils will focus on Reguilon. That's what Mondo Napoli are reporting in an exclusive, explaining the Spaniard is drifting away from Napoli, so Napoli too have been interested in him. It said the player's agents have been offering his client in England with Real Madrid's blessing to clubs such as Chelsea, Arsenal and Man United. The latter, Man United, have reportedly bitten, and Mondo Napoli claimed their information suggests Ed Woodward and Co are ready to materialise their interest by offering 25 million with bonuses. That would suggest the bid is 25 million altogether. We'll have to wait and see if that's enough, but it's certainly something. So this is what we're hearing from Italy, from Spain. So we're hearing these reports from those various places that Manchester United are leading the race. Now let's wait and see what happens. But at the moment, it seems like we're very much in for him. You've even got reliable people like Fabrizio Romano reporting that we've been offered the opportunity to sign the player and we're interested in signing him. Now we're waiting for a decision to be made. So it looks like that is now being reported elsewhere in various different ways. Obviously you've got the angle of Napoli's interest and the Italians reporting United, but they could just be basing that off reports elsewhere in Britain and in Spain, etc. That's how the media will work. But then you've also got the Spanish reports from those close to Sevilla saying this player's not coming to Sevilla now. He's looking like he's set for Manchester United. The one thing is for sure, he won't be a Real Madrid player next season, because he's either going on a permanent deal or he's going to go to Sevilla on loan. and we hear they're possibly interested in a permanent. So it seems like United are very much in for him. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen. Can I just say thank you to Fina or Fena, sorry if I've said your name wrong, for joining AdamMcKola TV. Remember, you can click that join button to become a member of the channel and help support the cause. You get bonus content as well and loads of other little bits on the channel. So make sure you are subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing and joining if you can as well. Jamie, we did a video over on Paddock today. I did a video there earlier. We done Gazetta yesterday as well. Loads of stuff. I wasn't there for the last 2 weeks in the office, but we've been back in today, and I've been doing Gazetta. So yeah, the content will start flowing again with my face in it. But we still have daily content on Stretford Paddock. Don't you worry about that. We've got it covered. Ross says it sounds like we're just waiting for a bid to properly materialise. Yeah, it looks. What will happen is United will put the feelers out with clubs to find out the prices, and then maybe say, you know, how about this? And then no official bid's actually gone in because it's all, you know, informal talks, and then you put through that official bid. Now, obviously, traditionally, you expect clubs to, you know, like on Football Manager, you bid 15 million, it gets knocked back. You bid another couple of million, it gets knocked back till you agree a deal. But it seems like clubs almost have those negotiations informally before they start sending through, I don't know, emails or faxes or whatever they do with the offers and with things in writing. It only seems like these clubs budge, especially the way Man United are doing business at the moment, when they know that deal is going to happen. If they don't feel like the players on it, the club's on it, they're not even going to make a bid. Or even if they don't think the player's going to join or accept terms, they won't make a bid with the club. You've seen a lot of clubs now saying to players, yeah, discuss your move with other teams and we'll try and get the right bid in. No one's really getting done for tapping up, are they, these days? Which you used to hear a lot about in the past. So, yeah, this one looks like we're seeing this one drag on for a couple of more days, maybe a week at the very least. But all reports saying we're going to get a decision soon. So fingers crossed on that one. Carl Martinson with the super chat says, hope you're well. When can we expect another House and McKola Uncensored? Yeah, we're back in the office on, well, McKola and House and Uncensored. We're back in the office on on Wednesday. So we're going to get that sorted then, and that will be up soon. We also had those Alex Telles reports, which is an alternative to Sergio Reguilon, coming from Portugal, I believe. And this is again via Sport Witness, who put the Porto player has repeatedly been linked with Premier League clubs such as Leicester and Chelsea. Yet when it comes to the crunch, they've gone for different options. Now Man United are said to be pushing ahead. Ebola states Solskjaer's club have intensified contacts to sign the Brazilian left back. Sevilla are also presented as keen, but it's made clear United are very much out in front. Ebola explained the deal is so far down the line that Telles representatives have travelled to Manchester with the intention of pushing everything along and concluding a deal. This could be a good value signing for United, considering the 27-year-old's contract with Porto expires in June 2021. Porto therefore can't ask a huge fee, and it's likely they'll receive less than the 30 million euros PSG recently considered paying. Now this one seems a little bit fishy to me because we've not heard it reported anywhere else. You've heard Leicester, Chelsea linked when they were in the market for fullback. You're hearing, you know, United and Sevilla are being linked with a move for Sergio Reguilon. So now maybe those in Portugal are linking those clubs with Alex Telles because it just makes common sense that he's an alternative for that player, or his agent's trying to make a deal happen, and the club are trying to get a transfer fee in before he can move on a free next summer. So that one I'd wait for a little bit more information to maybe come out on that one, or a little bit more, you know, a few more reports in terms of more reliable people coming out. But we haven't heard much really yet in terms of that one. Just that report coming out from Ebola, who aren't the most reliable in terms of transfer news anyway. Now obviously I said I didn't want to touch on it much. We're not going to go into it much, but we'll read the United statement, or part of the statement, to come out from club. And they've simply said United are liaising with the FA and are disappointed with the actions of Mason Greenwood over this situation. The club do not expect the player to have to quarantine. Southgate said they have been naive. I recognise their age, but we're dealing with a pandemic, and there's responsibility from every age group to make sure that they play their part in keeping each other safe. They've broken the COVID guidelines in terms of our secure bubble, and so we had to decide very quickly that they couldn't have any interaction with the team. Given the procedures they now follow, they have to travel back to England separately. So it's believed they won't have to quarantine, which is good news for us and good news for Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden. I don't really care about Phil Foden too much. For Mason Greenwood, because I'm sure Ollie would have been doubly pissed off if it meant he had to quarantine and potentially miss the start of the season. What do I think about Samuel Chukwueze for right winger? Cheap too, says David. I don't know a whole lot about him, to be totally honest with you, so I can't give a fair opinion on that one. Someone I do know a little bit more about is Andreas Pereira. Now, Andreas Pereira has been linked with a move away from Manchester United for the whole summer, but we're hearing again that he could potentially be leaving the club, and it's the same clubs that were linked with him about a month ago being linked with him again, and that is via ESPN, and it's Benfica and Valencia who are among the clubs who are keen to be signing Andreas Pereira. So Andreas Pereira looks like one of those players that will be destined for the Old Trafford exit. Obviously been an academy player at the club, been here for a long time, looks like he could be on the move. We heard a few weeks ago from Brazilian reports that he was wanted by clubs in Portugal, Spain, and I think Germany as well, and obviously Benfica and Valencia are from two of those three nations, and among the clubs who are keen on Andreas Pereira. So it looks like we could be getting a move sorted for him hopefully soon. ESPN in that story also said United are willing to listen to offers for Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Marcus Rojo, Pereira and Sergio Romero. Interested clubs have been put off by their wages, and some say players will likely need to take pay cuts and or negotiate payoffs. So it may mean United having to do similar deals for to what they did for Alexis Sanchez with a few of these. They say Phil Jones has attracted interest from a number of Premier League clubs, but Manchester United are yet to receive a firm offer. So those are a few of the players that are on the shopping or the transfer list for Manchester United: Phil Jones, Chris Smalling, Marcus Rojo, Andreas Pereira and Sergio Romero. I'm sure you didn't need to be told that, though. It's been pretty obvious that those would be guys that would be looking for new clubs this summer, wasn't it? And it looks like the case as we move. I keep saying summer because that's traditionally when the transfer window is. We're moving into autumn now, aren't we? There were reports as well that Smalling and Rojo have been told there's a chance to secure a spot in Man United's squad for next season, as their search for a centre-back has stalled. Now, I think Chris Smalling would not be on it anyway. He'd see himself as first choice. I could possibly see Marcus Rojo being up for that as fifth choice centre-back or whatever it would be for Man United, just in a worst case scenario kind of situation. But I think that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer blagging a little bit, just showing that we have these players, and they're part of the squad and we value them and all this, that and the other. He said similar things about Alexis Sanchez. He said similar things about Ashley Young. He said similar things about various different players that have now left the club. So we have to take these comments with a pinch of salt. I wouldn't be getting too carried away with them, and I don't think Chris Smalling would want to stay at Manchester United and be third, fourth, fifth choice. I think he'd see himself as first choice, especially considering how well he did for AS Roma. So I can't see that one being true or holding any weight, but I think it's Ali just being nice. Get French Football News have reported that Anthony Martial is expected to start for France against Croatia. Now, we saw Donny van der Beek start today as Holland lost against Italy. Wasn't his fault though. Ake and Van Dijk messing up with their goal. But we could see Anthony Martial starting for France in that game against Croatia. Be a massive opportunity for him. He was obviously through on goal, about to score the other day, and Lindelof pushes him over. They get a penalty and Griezmann misses it. But big opportunity for him, and I really hope he does well. Obviously, I don't really care about players doing well for their international teams, really, because it doesn't affect us. But having confident players that are happy, players that are are playing well for their country can only mean good things. And when you look at this part of the season that we're at, with the league campaign about less than 2 weeks away for us, the start of the campaign, we got to get our players fit and ready and firing. So it's good that he's starting as well. Hopefully he can have a good game for France and come back to United ready to go, because on form and fit Anthony Martial is a dangerous player for anybody to be handling, and we need our key players to hit the ground running in the league season. It starts very quickly. You haven't really got a pre-season. I think we play Aston Villa in a pre-season game this weekend, but we haven't really got a pre-season, so you need these players and these boys to be hitting the ground running and performing straight away. But just to recap for you guys, there's various reports coming out from Spain today, and also from Italy as well. So we'll cover those from Italy first. When there's reports, obviously Napoli were in for Sergio Reguilon, but now Italian reports say that Man United are leading the race and are set to sign him. So you're hearing that from Italy, but you're also hearing from Spain that Sevilla look like they could be out of the race. Manchester United are leading the race, but Arsenal are also interested in the player as well. So we're just waiting to see what happens, and we're expecting a decision to come on Sergio Reguilon's future in days. So not too long to go now for that one. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. Get some comments in, like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Sushant wants to see us get a right winger and a centre back fast. That's Jadon Sancho and someone else, isn't it? Fingers crossed we can get him. Shaz says I'd take a Sancho and a good centre back. Yeah, me too. That's how I'm feeling about the situation. That's how I've always felt, that we'd get Sancho and maybe one or two more. And that's how I'm feeling at the moment, that we've already got one, obviously, so Sancho and possibly one more, but I hate to say definitely, but I think we will get Sancho. It'll drag on a bit, but we'll get him, and no matter what happens, we'll be here to cover it on AdamMcKola TV. So make sure you're keeping it locked. United Daily Live is live every single day at 10:30 PM, so make sure you're joining us for then. But for now, I've been AdamMcKola. I'm going to get out of here now. Make sure you keep it locked. See you later.